Hi everybody, this is Barb coming back to you. I'm a little early. I usually make my weekly reports on Friday, but today is Wednesday. Last week I did tell you that I had an endoscope that I got canceled for Monday, but I had a sinus infection and so they put it off. But I said to you I'd return sooner if I had something to tell you. Well, surprise! I was back in the ER on Sunday for dehydration. This is my third week of being in the ER for that. Very sick on Sunday, very dizzy, wanting to pass out. Urination the day before was just a couple of drizzles. Honestly, it was, fortunately I wasn't happy to go back, but they admitted me, which the surgeon decided to, even though I had my sinus infection, and they checked me and they wanted to do the scope still on Monday. And they fit me in Monday morning. He did come and talk to me before I started the procedure. He was kind of thinking and planning on, once he did the scope, that he would go down probably with a balloon and kind of expand a little bit some areas. He said some can occur with surgery that there's scar tissuing, and when there's scar tissuing that might cause narrowing when the scar tissuing develops. So he's thought maybe the stomach maybe had some areas, or maybe even at the beginning of my small intestines. So that was the idea going in. So out I went. Procedure went well. Woke up in recovery. And the nurses reported to me that he did not use the balloon, which was kind of weird. I said, well, maybe there was nothing wrong. She went and got the report, and it showed that I had a stomach ulcer. Surprise! So, he did come and talk to me, and again, I was just coming out of anesthesia, so kind of druggy about it, and not really able to ask questions I wished I would have asked. So I saw pictures of the ulcer. It's at the bottom of my new sleeve. It's about 90% around the bottom of my sleeve. It's like right before you enter into my small intestine, or my is it my my pyloric valve, I think it's called. I'm not sure exactly to quote me on that, but so. One, I was kind of happy that we found something, because I've been suffering for 6 weeks of severe nausea, 3 nausea meds, in the last week or two, vomiting and unable to really keep anything down. Even water's been coming right back up. So in one way, I was happy that we found a reason, and that and one, that it can be cured. It wasn't something that couldn't be treated. So let's talk about treatment. So treatment for an ulcer is, I got 3 new prescriptions. One is the Prilosec, which is twice a day now, and the other one is a medication that they give you to control the acid, and it's taken 4 times a day. And then there's the third med is, I think for me, the most important one. It is a liquid medication that you take an hour before your meals and at bedtime, so 4 times a day, and that coats the ulcer. So and it's all those meds are for at least 3 months. It takes about that length of time for the ulcer to heal, but hoping that the medication that coats the ulcer will help control, and then also the acid medications will help control the nausea, and that will then help me not have that hurt feeling in my stomach, like when I eat anything, even water. When I would take my water and take up regular medicine, it would just kill. My stomach would just hurt, and for like 20 minutes, and then it would go away. I would try to take another sip of something, and it would come right back. So all of the, symptoms I was having kind of all gets explained by the ulcer, because if you look up the ulcer, the stomach ulcer, everything I was complaining of, that was a problem from the ulcer. And it was exactly like I could explain to the doctor when he asked me what was going on. I would say to him, I could eat plain chicken one day and do exactly the same thing the next day. And one time it would upset my stomach and hurt me, and I would vomit it. And the next day I'd be perfectly feeling great. And I didn't understand. I took the same meds, the same, you know, I've done everything in the last 6 weeks to try to figure out how to cut down the nausea and the pain. I said I still don't understand what made it different from day to day, but I would have great one day, 2 days, and think, oh, this is super, and then back down in the dumps again. So that should all get better in time. He is going to order another scope in 2 months, which will check to see how the ulcer is doing. I also have to see him in 2 weeks for follow-up. He has pulled me out of work. I am restricted to any activity, no lifting more than 10 pounds. I think he said that because ulcers can perforate the stomach, and then we have more problems. So I think he's just trying to be very cautious, especially since I've been so sick for the last 6 weeks. Good news is they checked all my enzymes and my protein level is fine. So that was good, because I don't know how, I still don't know how that could be good, because I have not had very much protein at all, or any nutrients. Still holding off on vitamins, so, you know, 7 weeks out, still not taking anything, but I guess everything seems to be okay. So I'm just going to focus on getting my ulcer healed, and hydrating, you know, keeping hydration. He kept me on stage 2 diet, which is, he really wants me to try to get protein in. I did talk to him about the protein. Still not sure if it's allergic reaction, or maybe it was the ulcer that was causing me to have so much pain with the with it. I don't know. So I am starting to try some protein powder. In, like, this morning, I got like about half of a cup of coffee in. Yesterday I bought stuff to make smoothies, and I got maybe 1/4 of a cup of smoothie in before my stomach really upset me. So I don't know if it's the yogurt. I don't know if it's, you know, again, it's going to be rough. So I'm just going to try to do, you know, what I can. Today I'm going to try to stay away from the dairy, and maybe do some, like, Gatorade with the protein powder and something that's not milk product, and see how my stomach feels. And he did say it may take a couple of days for the medicines to start working. I've been on them since Monday afternoon. I will tell you that once I got out of my scope on Monday, I had difficulty swallowing anything, because they wanted me to start these pills when I got up into my room, because I had been on nothing by mouth from the night before. And they were, it's a pretty small tablet. It was completely stuck. And they said that, you know, first time I've ever had an endoscope done. So they said it could be, you know, my throat was a little sore, and they said things could be swollen. But that was the first time that I actually, you know, I usually don't have food stuck. I have never had anything that couldn't go down. But this tablet was stuck. And couldn't really even cough it up. It was at a point that it would just... So the nurse just got me to just keep sipping a little bit of water until it dissolved small enough that it would pass. So they kept me until Monday night to make sure that I could, again, swallow some more pills, can tolerate some liquids, and they had me take a little bit of protein and see how that upset my stomach. And I got my protein from home, which is the soy-based protein that was the only one that could help me, or that I could tolerate in small amounts. So they were happy with that. I got it brought in from home. We mixed it. I took it. An hour later, they were able to discharge me. So we're gonna go with that. So I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. One downside effect about one of the new meds for the acid is it causes diarrhea, and that started occurring last night. I had 2 bouts of it, of just water, and I haven't yet today, so I'm going to keep praying, because last thing I need is diarrhea that's going to cause me to be dehydrated and then back in the hospital, and that's not fun. So where he said it's going to take 2 or 3 days again for everything to kind of swelling from the scope to go down. I'm on stage 2 till I see him. No food, you know, and it's funny because I'm hungry. You know, it's like I feel hunger, but when nothing's in my stomach, and then as soon as I put, you know, anything in my stomach, I'm eternally turned away from it, and so I want that to get better. I want to let people know, I mean, if you've been following me for the 6 weeks, you're probably saying, oh my God, you know, this poor woman, or she's crazy, because that's what I was finally getting to a point with when I said to him, listen, if you don't find anything wrong with my stomach, I think I need a referral to a psychiatrist, because something is definitely wrong, and if it's in my head, I want to, you know, get it fixed. Because I said I'm jealous of all the people who've had the surgery, and they're having, you know, a perfect time, everything's going swell, and then I'm just reporting every week of my misery. The weight loss has come off. I did gain about 10 pounds with all the fluid they gave me. I was probably on 6 liters of fluid. So I did go up to 260. But now today I weighed in at 251.8, so I lost that. So, but that's okay. You know, again, weight is not the issue right now. I just want to feel better. So I will talk to you guys again next week. And you guys all have a good weekend. Bye-bye.